What's going on, everybody? We're finally back with a year-end video. It's been a few months since I put anything up, but we're gonna do a year-end video and kind of look forward to the next year. But 2024, we started the year out. Our first ride was out in Logandale. Had a video on that. That was fun. We just went out for the day and ran around. Then from there, we kind of just did a few Sand Hollow trips. Played around Sand Hollow right out our backyard until June. We spend a week up in St. Anthony's, Idaho. I know I did a few videos on that, but that was probably, I don't know, June had our top 2 trips of the year. I don't know which one was better. The week in St. Anthony's, or we came home and turned around 2 days later and went to Moab for the first time we'd ever been in Moab. And that was amazing as well. I think I'm still a sand duner at heart, though. I'd still choose sand over rocks, but Moab was amazing. The views there, the trails, hitting the iconic like Hell's Revenge and Poison Spider, Fins and Things, all that. It was so cool. And the old Can-Am performed flawlessly out there. Rock tires would have probably been better. A set of Rockzillas or Rock Tamers or something like that would have performed a little better than these Sedonas, but these are good all-around tires. But after that, whole bunch of Sand Hollow again. That was our year. We only went 2 different places other than Sand Hollow. Kind of a year putting in more work than actually getting to ride, so that's why the videos weren't really there. But we've had a pretty good year. Didn't really add a whole lot to the car. It pretty much just rode the way it was this year. I got some plans for next year that I'd like to do. Evo tune, that's at the top of the list. An aftermarket cage, that's at the top of the list. A wrap, I'd really like to wrap this thing, make it more unique. Not just another black Can-Am out in the sand or the trails. But we'll see what the finances allow us to do, but hopefully we can get more videos this coming year, 2025, than we did in 2024. But we're gonna go chase the grandkids around. They're out there running in the rocks, so we're gonna go play for a little bit, and we'll come back and I'll kind of share some of the things I liked about this side-by-side this year, and maybe some of the things that I wasn't so happy with. But we'll be right back.
Which one? This one.
You just climbed that big one.
I didn't get to see you. Show me how you do it. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, you walk like Sasquatch.
You stand like
That's a little red Sasquatch right there.
That's hilarious.
Good job.
Good job, bud.
We are literally,
Whoa, you're fine.
home is right there. Sand Hollow, right there. Just a quick ride over to let the kids run around.
Whoa, nice save.
So, a year of using this machine with really not even changing anything to it, just using it. I think the things that I've liked the most, top 3 things that have worked the most, or that I've enjoyed the most. Not in any order, but just the top 3 things I would say. Springs. Springs made a night and day difference in the way this thing rides. And I never have to adjust my ground clearance. Ride height stays the same. And I went with Shock Therapy Springs. I have a video on it you can watch. All the stuff I've done to this car, I'm not going to go over all of it, because if you've watched my channel, I've talked about everything I've ever put on this car. So, but the top 3 things I've liked this year: the springs, the Simpson seats. I think my top 3 things are all comfort. The Simpson seats are amazing. They're the best seat I've ever used. Everything I sat in, these ones, the Pro, I think they're Pro Sport, they were the most comfortable for me. I love those seats. And number 3, oh, look at these, little side note here. We got these Aces Racing inserts for the grandkids. These have been really great. They just sit inside your other seat. I've got my seat belts. I did have to take out the factory seat belts, so the back ones were like this, where they were loose, the Can-Am ones. Took those out and put in some solid ones so we could snug them down. But I put them on clips, so you just slide the seat forward, unclip it, feed them through, and that's clipping back on, and you're ready to go. The kids fit snug and perfect in there. They have a spot if you want to do a strap down the middle. You could fish them through the sides. We just go over the top because they're almost 5 3, so they fit really good in there. But so those were a good buy. Easy to get the grandkids to come along with us, and they love it, as you can tell. So seats, and then it's not this specific brand, but switching to 35-inch tall tires. That made a huge difference in ride quality as well. Not to mention ground clearance, and I mean, it just, and I've really liked these Sedona trail saws. They've been great all-around tires. They've done a better job than the Tusk Terabytes that I had before. These get better traction than that. They're a little bit softer compound. They do okay in the rocks. They don't slow crawl much anything, but they make it everywhere we've been. They've made it. They've made it up the chute. They've made it up Hell's Gate. They've made it every hill we've ever tried rock crawling. And then they actually go decent in the sand. For Sand Hollow, where we're not using paddle tires, they go good. But springs, 35-inch tires, and Simpson seats. Those have been my top 3 this year that I think I've enjoyed the most. And so this car, if you guys have followed along, this is a 2021 Maverick X3 with the Smart Shocks. So the first year that they've offered Smart Shocks. And I have not regretted going with Smart Shocks at all. Even the first year, we've had 0 issues with them. They've always worked. They've ran great. It's awesome to be able to just switch that switch on the dash, and paired with the shock therapy springs. Oh my gosh, I've never had a vehicle ride this smooth. Big picture, I'd like to send the shocks in and get the internals done. Just make sure. We've got like 2,600 miles on this car, so it's about time for that. Just haven't gone through, new fluid put in them, and might as well have them do the revalving and stuff while we're there. So that's in the future. We're going to try and get that done as well. But only negatives, and really not a negative that I've had on this machine. This year, the only thing that's broke was the front driveline, and it was my fault. When we were on the Barracks Trail, I kind of touched it a little bit while we were out on that ride, not too much. I did, I think, show a video repairing it, but it was my heavy foot and trying one obstacle about 6 times, and it finally twisted that driveline. Actually, it wasn't the front driveline. I take that back. It was the rear one. It was the long one. The front one was good. I had to take the front one out so we could make it back, because the back one, it twisted it like 3 revolutions, but we were still able to get back with it. So, but other than that, she's dirty. Been a good machine. No issues, no problems. Just runs. I have stock battery kept draining. I put one of the lithium batteries, the restart one that had the button on the top. It got ruined, so I went with the UTV Stereo big battery. Never had an issue with that thing. Been a great battery. Car's never died, sitting in the garage for a couple weeks. It's got plenty of juice. So, solved that issue. That's it. What?
I could go off there.
Yeah.
I could go off there.
So at our house, that thing's called the vroom vroom. That's what the grandkids call it. The vroom vroom. You making it?
Yeah.
Good job.
Hi, okay, I'm supposed to give my top 3 items on the machine. So I'm gonna start with, I think, the seats. We have the Simpson seats and we've had them for a couple of years. We started with the front 2 and then we ended up getting the back 2. We actually, when we bought these at the sand show in Anaheim or California, Orange County, we bought the seats. We were going to buy the back bench seat that has so it could have 3 seats back there, but they were just coming out with them. So they came to Sand Hollow and we were going to purchase the back seat. And then when we got there, changed our mind and decided let's just go with the same seats in the back because we really didn't need the bench seat at that point, and it took a lot of legroom. So if you need the 3rd seat, I would say definitely get it. They have them to match, and they're really nice. But I feel like they did take up a little bit of the legroom. So you know, just do what works for you. But I love the seats. I think they're so worth it. They are super comfortable, and we do lots of long rides, day rides. So I definitely want that comfort. And I can't give you all the specifics about them. I just like them. They're comfy. The next thing I would probably say is this storage, the storage in the back. I'll show you a picture of it here. The Rifab. We had this, I think we had this on our last machine, and I love it because I hate when you have to bring chairs and lunch and things like that and you have to worry about making sure it's all strapped down. It's kind of a pain. And so I love this. It's really, really nice. I think we even bought it and had it sitting in the garage before we brought this machine home. So definitely a must have. And the one thing I'm going to show you with the trick on this, because the way that this machine sits, sometimes it's really, really high. And I'm pretty tall, I'm even 5'8", but sometimes it's hard for me to get and pull it down so that I can shut it. So this is what it looks like. And then so we had to take one of these springs off. It has 2 springs, one on each side, here and here. So Andy took one of them off because, like I said, and I'm not super wimpy or anything, you know, it's just the way that it is. Sometimes it's really, really tall to pull it down towards you. It didn't work. But even with this, with one of them off, I can even do it one-handed. So definitely, if you are looking for something for good storage, I like it. And it's a nice sleek look. That's probably one of my favorites because it's kind of like my Mary Poppins bag. I have to take a little bit of everything with this. We have to have extra blankets and extra jackets and extra treats. So definitely a must have. And then the third one I would say is probably, I'm going to go with headsets. We didn't buy those until this machine. We've never had them. And we've had quite a few machines, and we've had 4-wheelers, and you know, we've ridden for years and years and years with the kids, and finally broke down and decided let's get them because we had some friends that had them, so we can do car to car as well. And actually really the thing that made us buy them is because we kept losing grandpas. We went on a trip one time and we lost both grandpas. So we got them, and that way at least if a few people in the front and the back and in the middle have the headsets, then you won't lose people. So I definitely like those. They're really nice. They keep you warm when it's cold outside, and we can jam to music if we want. We can talk to the kids if we want. So I definitely would go with the headsets. Now we did the rugged radios. I know there's another kind. I don't really know what they're called, but they're fun. They're great. So definitely worth the money. If you're thinking about it, I would say do it.
It's not a picture.
Okay.
Well, for 2025, besides Sand Hollow, that's where we ride. I think on the list is back to St. Anthony's. Hopefully back to Moab, the Red Rock Rally. If you haven't been to Moab, the Red Rock Rally in Moab in June. Mid-June. It's
really
worth
fun.
it. That is fun. It's put on by UTV Utah. It's put on by Slick Rock Productions and Red Rock Rally. It's the only side-by-side rally in Moab
Anymore, huh?
that's left. Yep. So I would recommend that. If you make it, come find us out there on the trail. Hopefully we're there. And that's a good time. Definitely worth it. And then as far as anything else, we'll just have to see. I would really like to go back to Little Sahara, Sand Mountain, Utah. And one of these days we've got to get back down to Glamis. I haven't been to Glamis in over 20 years, and I really want to take this thing down there with the paddles and go enjoy it. I tried to talk her into Glamis for New Year's, but after Christmas, we just didn't have the funds to go. So we're spending New Year's, which today is New Year's Eve, 3:15 p.m. New Year's Eve. We're hanging out with the grandkids. That's what we're doing. That's what we'd like to do this year. And some day rides like over by Kanab, out to the Barracks Trail, Coral Pink Sand Dunes. Those are day rides we can do from here. So not counting the day ride stuff, but actual camp trips, Moab, Little Sahara, St. Anthony's, Glamis, and if we can't make it to Glamis, maybe Dumont. One of those two, Glamis or Dumont. I would love to go to one of those. Haven't been to Dumont ever. Haven't been to Glamis in 20 years. Last time I was there, we were riding Yamaha Banshees, four-wheelers. So it'd be a lot of fun to go check those places out. So we'll see what we can make happen. And like I said earlier, kind of the wish list on the car is Evo, roll cage, wrap, and I'd like to lighten the thing up. I kind of want to do a bed delete. We'll see. But she just told me to be done. So I guess that's it.
Happy New
So
Year.
Happy New Year's, and we'll see you in 2025. What? Why? Because you can't get down?